wants to hire a designer and get what they expect? As you see from poking around the studio here, it is kind of like an insane asylum meets laboratory. So for us, play is a rule. There was a real Mickey Rooney aspect to starting our own studio. Hey guys, my dad's got a barn, let's put on a show. Eventually we arrived at a matrix: fun, fame, and fortune. And in order for us to take on a job, we had to have two of those components. We have very organically evolved from editorial designers to packaging, corporate branding, signage and wayfinding, environments, motion graphics. Am I still working as a hands-on designer? Oh my God, ask the staff. Everybody's taken aback by the idiocy of taking so much time to craft a particular thing. How important it is to be vulnerable when you're a designer, to not know where you're going, to be on that thin ice and not worry about crashing through. That just keeps me going day after day.
We were talking to
How's that? That was fucking good, right?
It was good.